welcome to week 7 of the Oxrageous podcast. We are 6 weeks into the season and we are 6-0. And how many people saw that coming? Well, I guess one, that would be me, had you been listening to this podcast all season. Florida practically sleptwalk last Saturday at Missouri, a team that's been a thorn in our side for the last 2 years. Missouri kind of looked like we did the last few years, you know, struggling to get anything going on and even going 0 for 13 on third down. We can kind of relate to that kind of pain. It was an ugly game, and basically you just wanted a game you just wanted to win and get out of there, which is exactly what we did. We finished the first half of the season undefeated and moved into the top 10. Two things that have exceeded our wildest expectations for the season, and what an amazing dream season it all was, and boy, I sure hope nothing will happen to derail it. And on Monday I was working in the field, and I was nowhere near the internet when I got a text from my mother, who lives in Gainesville. And I pulled out my phone and it said, quote, something bad going on with the football team. Possible suspensions on radio. And I kind of sighed and rolled my eyes, and I pulled up Gator Chatter on my phone because I wanted to see if it was being talked about yet, and of course it was, well before that. You know, I was expecting a couple of players maybe caught smoking pot or doing something stupid, 2 or 3 game suspension at the most, something like that. And when I saw Will Grier's name, I was shocked, first of all, and then I was downright stunned when I found out this could be for the rest of the season and beyond. I mean, we're talking something at the end of season. I was in disbelief because, you know, here we are flying high into what's our biggest challenge of the year at LSU, the one game that no one ever thought we had a chance at winning. You know, and our young superstar quarterback flunks a drug test. You know, remember last year when we were heading into the LSU game, and that Monday the allegations came out about Treon Harris and he had to miss the game? I don't know what it is about the LSU game. They keep dodging bullets, but, you know, I can tell you right now, next year, the Monday before the LSU game, I'm going to be on pins and needles. As for Grier, the whole thing just really kind of makes you sick. You know, we're talking about a young quarterback, a freshman who had the world by the short and curlies. He's the quarterback for the Florida Gators. He's got it all, and he takes a banned substance, you know. And we don't know exactly what it was for or why he did it. But one thing we do know is that Grier was underweight when he came to Florida, and I think it was definitely a factor in him choosing to redshirt in the first place. So, as a guy myself who couldn't put on weight no matter what I did until I was 30, I can sympathize with the guy a little bit. I think it's likely he was trying something that would simply help him better build muscle mass. And whether he deliberately took a banned substance or it was an accident, it really doesn't matter, because he has to serve a significant suspension either way, which could actually derail his entire career. So, you know, all you can do is shake your head, you know, and he's going to stay with the team. He's going to practice with the team, and we'll see if he gets another opportunity down the line. He's certainly talented enough to. But as of now, welcome back, Treon Harris. Sorry about the things we said about you. Harris now has a huge opportunity to take this team back. You know, how far can we go is still the question. You know, and after the initial extreme shock and disappointment, there's a part of me that really thinks the team is going to rally around each other and respond well to this. If it was a weaker team with a weaker coaching staff, it could deflate and derail the whole season, kind of like what happened to Tennessee when they lost to us early in the season. Weak coaching leads to weak players, and then they kind of mail it in. But these coaches have these players so bought in and believing in themselves. We remain a very, very dangerous team. And we were very lucky at all to have an experienced young quarterback like Treon Harris back there. we had a much better backup quarterback situation than most of the teams in college football. So we are still very much in the driver's seat towards winning the East and exceeding our goals for this year. So with that opening monologue, let me dive into a couple of your questions. Question 1, and this is by Tennessee Gator. Will Florida's defense be enough to contain Fournette and keep LSU one-dimensional offensively? And that, of course, is the big question. I got about 30 questions this week, and I think 25 of them were about Leonard Fournette. You know, the hype machine is in full boil. You know, he can't be stopped. Herschel Walker came out and said that Fournette was better than he was. You know, he's Jim Brown, Bo Jackson, and Barry Sanders all rolled into one. You know, he may have 300 rushing yards in the first quarter. Yada, 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 you know. Leonard Fournette is not unstoppable, and he sure as hell isn't Herschel Walker, no matter what he says. He's a great back, and I think barring injury, he's almost a shoo-in for the Heisman. And he's going to get some yards. But the key is to keep him from taking over the game. You know, I was watching the LSU-South Carolina game last week, and South Carolina had him shut down really the entire first half. I think he was at 3 yards a carry or less. And as the second half started, I was sitting there thinking to myself, you know, all it takes though is one seam and this guy is gone. And sure enough, zip, 87 yards, and he got the crowd energized, demoralized South Carolina, and that was really the end of the game because of the big play. Other than that, he had 71 yards on 19 carries. Other than that one big play. But you can't take that big play away. That big play is what put South Carolina away. You know, South Carolina is not known as a defensive powerhouse, but they sold out to stop the run. But that one run is what crushed their spirit. You know, so that's the one thing we have to stop, is the big run, the big play, the 50-yarder, the one that takes it to the house, the one that gets the crowd going bananas. You know, but Florida has the defense to do it. They have much better defense than anything LSU has seen so far this season. Okay, next question. How many takeaways are you expecting Florida to get from LSU? Question by UR Gatorbait. And that's another big question. Takeaways are going to be a big part of this game, as usual. Now, Brandon Harris, who's LSU's quarterback, has not thrown the ball much. You know, interestingly, he threw a lot more against South Carolina. He threw 28 times than he had in any other game prior to that one, probably because South Carolina was selling out to stop the run. So with us almost certainly doing the same thing, and I can't imagine us having any other strategy, he's going to be forced again to throw the ball more than he wants to. To his credit, he hasn't thrown an interception this season, but he only has 610 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns in 5 games. You know, he's got 3 games in which he threw for less than 100 yards. So what are they going to do if Fournette can't find room to run and they're piling up 3-and-outs and punts? The guy is ripe for an interception or two, and he's certainly going to be tested with our secondary. Interceptions are also a fantastic way to take the crowd out of the game. So let's hope we can snag a couple. And he's definitely ripe for the taking on that one. And just to take a minute to take a look at the stats, LSU is 24th in total offense in the nation, but that breaks down to 3rd in rushing and 122nd in passing. So you're talking about the very definition of a one-dimensional team. So why would you not sell out to stop the run? We're going to see if Harris can beat our secondary with his arm. And while he can scramble a little bit, he's not Michael Vick, and he certainly isn't even Josh Dobbs, who ran all over us a few weeks ago. You know, as long as we're not over-pursuing like we did in that game, we should be able to contain him pretty well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing LSU have to punt over and over and over again. Defensively, LSU is ranked 14th, which breaks down to 13th against the rush and 37th against the pass. Florida brings its 100th ranked rushing game into Baton Rouge, you know, and the fact is we're really going to need to run the ball to win this game. The best way to defend Leonard Fournette is to keep him on the sideline with long drives. And I'm also certainly hoping that Harris can keep some drives alive with his legs. He's generally pretty good on third down, getting out there and making plays for us. Let's hope Harris comes out with a chip on his shoulder. He was kind of brushed aside for Will Grier, and I really hope he wants to stick it to his doubters, including guys like myself who preferred Grier the whole time. But everybody's fully behind Harris. He's our guy, and I hope he makes us look stupid. So he's already got some experience in tough environments from last year. He still has more experience than Grier had, and he was a winner, of course, throughout his entire high school career. And one thing we noticed last year when he came in is he tended to make his teammates better. So let's see if he can get that magic back. This is a tough game, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what he could do. It's really a monstrous opportunity for him to rally the troops here. So the fact is, it's really difficult to know what to expect in this game because of the quarterback change and the adversity going on and how the team will respond to it. We really don't know. We got to see Harris play a bit at the beginning of the season, and he played well. His stats on the season are 19 of 27 for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Good numbers. This isn't a Will Muschamp coaching staff. This coaching staff is going to utilize Harris's strength and have him ready to play and give him confidence. We nearly beat this LSU team last year, and that Gator team was a train wreck. So, I know it's a completely different story playing in Death Valley at night, but this team has such resilience and belief in itself. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if we silenced that crowd and waltzed out of there with a win. But it really can't be understated. This is a huge game for the brand. Another one that none of the experts think we can win. It's a win at LSU, especially with what we've been dealing with this week. It would be such a huge story. It would set the college football world on its ear, and the recruits again would be forced to notice Florida and just really put us back on the map. So it's a lot to ask. Death Valley is a tough place to win in, especially at night for anybody. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge. But that's why we play the game, and it's great to be able to be sitting here talking to you about a top 10 Gators again, going to play a top 10 LSU team. This is the biggest game we've had in a lot of years, so how can you not be excited about that? Okay, we're already to the Magic 8 Ball segment. Magic 8 Ball said we were going to win without a doubt last week, and we did easily, so let's see what happens. Magic 8 Ball, can we go into Death Valley and beat LSU? Moment of truth. Signs point to yes. Yet again, the Magic 8 Ball has faith in our Gators. Do you? All signs point to yes. Got to agree with the Magic 8 Ball. And why is that? Because these players believe in themselves, and they believe in their coach, and they've bought in. Great to see. Great to get the Magic 8 Ball on board with the rest of us. So, in closing, keep your heads up, Gator fans. It was a bit of a bubble bursting because we love Will Grier, and he's such a young, energetic guy. And here we are undefeated, and that happens. But we've got other good players. And Treon Harris is a winner, and the situation could change the team's mentality back from being kind of favorites and people thinking you can win back to the underdog, us against the world mentality, which I think they rally around and play well under. So at the very least, the future is very bright with this young team and this coaching staff. So again, it's great to be sitting here talking about our Gators as a contender. So come on and join us on Gator Chatter. I was very pleased on Monday to see when this news broke how much traffic flooded to Gator Chatter, which tells me a lot of people come to us at the very least for breaking news. No matter what you hear is happening in the Gator world, we're already talking about it on Gator Chatter. So if there's something you want to know, come to our main sports board, and it's going to be there. And quit lurking. Sign up, join in, and give us your 2 cents yourself. So, as usual, if you like these videos, you can follow me on YouTube. If you just want audio, you can download the free Stitcher app and get these podcasts on your mobile device on the go. So, thanks everybody for listening. Have a tremendous week. I hope to, let's just say I hope I have another post-game podcast that's been as happy as all the others in the previous games this season. So you'll be hearing from me on Saturday night, hopefully in a good mood. Have a great week. Go Gators.